Yeah, it's Keith Conover. Whoa, whoa. Extreme close up. Thanks for joining us, everybody, on the channel. And I want to talk a little bit about Keith. Actually, I don't want to talk about Keith, but he kind of makes me talk about him because he posted this on Reddit. You see Vittler on the roof. He made a profile with Sergeant Vittler's name for some reason. Vittler on the roof. I guess he thought that was interesting. And a word association with the fiddler on the roof. But anyway, besides his normal crying here where he says, I just wish PT would go away, and warning that I'm going to land myself in hot water, and he's promising that he's unsubscribed and he avoids me. In those same sentences, you can see that he says, I hope they post a video where he's hunted down and beaten. And now he's talking to his co-conspirators in a harassment hate group, allegedly, because they go back and forth over on Reddit and on their Facebook. And I made a video at the beginning of 2022 which really set Keith off. It made him go crazy because I exposed that this Vittler on the Roof profile is Keith. And I simply did that by looking at the profile and all of his past posts. And I noticed that some of the pictures he was showing on his public Reddit were from inside his own garage. And I noticed the photos because Keith used to post videos from inside his garage on his YouTube channel, stuff he thought was pretty cool. And then he actually used that YouTube channel to come over to PoliceTube and leave mean comments and stuff, saying stuff like, this is trash, or I'm just regurgitating real world police. And he didn't realize that I would connect that that's Buddy from 50 Patrol or something. I don't know. Eventually it was connected, and now it's all also been connected to this Vittler on the Roof profile where he's making a public plea for people to hunt me down and beat me. Now, you know, he's also friends with, besides Derek Faircloth, but TKP. I just want to remind you that last autumn, Keith Conover, after looking for PoliceTube, trying to find out who I am and where I am, he thought he had located me. So he orchestrated a plan with TKP and Steve-01 saying that they were going to California because they thought I was in California. And they're saying that they're going to meet with somebody. TKP specifically said he's going to go knock on some doors with a video camera and make a video. Now, I remind you, Buddy was posting over here that he hopes they post a video where PoliceTube is hunted down and beaten. And then him and a couple people started posting saying that they were going to California. Personally, at the time, I thought the only reason they could be going to California would be to go on the Dr. Phil show, maybe. How ridiculous was that? Everybody was like, no, obviously that's not why. They're doing something else. But it wasn't understood what they were trying to convey until later when we discovered that they thought I was in California. Which it's funny because they've organized this group, which I call the Alliance, to try to take down PoliceTube. They vowed to take down PoliceTube. And Keith has very extreme anger for PoliceTube. Let me just show you what Buddy said here when he literally said F PoliceTube's mother. Listen to this.
I know we're not going to talk about him on this channel.
PoliceTube.
But this moron, he like gets up every morning and gets on his computer, and it's all about this fucking idiot in Florida that's in prison. And my God, man, get a fucking life. That's all I have to say there is just get a fucking life. Sorry for my language.
No, this is supposed to be, this is unfiltered.
Yeah, yeah.
No, sorry for
Oh, in that case, fuck it. Fuck him.
Fuck it. Fuck it. Unfiltered.
And his mom.
Damn.
Shit. Actually, fuck him.
Fuck it.
And his mom.
So you guys heard it right there. Now, Keith claims that he never said that, but this is actually over on his channel, over on the Unfiltered channel that he set up specifically with, King George and Newbie here, 50 Patrol, Dave, in order to complain about PoliceTube. So just to recap here, Buddy is saying, fuck PoliceTube and fuck my mom. Horrendous things to say, although he has every right to say it, but he has clear anger and aggression issues. And he's on social platforms urging people to hunt me down and post a video of me being beaten. And then he coordinates a message that he's trying to portray to me over online with his friend King George and Steve-O, saying that they're coming to where they think I am. And they're going to film a video of them knocking on some doors. Okay, and this went on almost all of 2021. So by a couple months into 2022, I was like, okay, I'm going to call Buddy and see what's going on here. I was like, hey, Buddy, I saw some stuff that, it appears to be you posting all this stuff online. What's going on? And you know what Buddy said? You know what Keith said? He said, "This is harassment by you, police tube. I'm calling the FBI." I'm not joking. He literally said that. And he said, "I hope they shut you down." And then he got off the phone and he drove down to the police station while he was calling 911, telling them that he needs a sergeant. He was like, "I need to speak to an officer. I've been harassed." I'm not joking. Keith Conover literally did this. And it reminded me so much of Jeremy DeWitt, because I literally caught Buddy saying that, he wants me hunted down and beaten. Then he pretended that he was going to come hunt me down and beat me. And then he conspired with his friend and a number of other friends. This is just one thing that they did. Meanwhile, he's making videos online talking about PoliceTube and saying F PoliceTube and F his family. And then I tell you, in the phone call, I couldn't have been nicer to him. I was extremely gracious and friendly and polite. But what do you expect from Keith Conover? At the end of the day, he denies that this is him on Reddit. He denies that he was making videos about Jeremy DeWitt. He denies having any interest in Jeremy DeWitt whatsoever or PoliceTube. Yet we clearly know that he's spent hours making videos about Jeremy DeWitt and about PoliceTube and complaining and thinking and plotting and planning and conspiring in the name of PoliceTube. And in his delusional mind or something, allegedly, he thinks that nobody hates him, nobody is displeased with him, nobody dislikes him. But if you go and look at his old videos and you look at the comments, a lot of people are leaving comments saying that he's condescending and he's ruining the show and he talks too much. And you know how he responded to those viewers that were speaking their minds? He told them to leave. He told them to unsubscribe from 50 Patrol's channel. And he told them, "Don't tell me that you're doing it." He said something like, "This ain't an airport. You don't have to announce your departure. So just unsubscribe if you don't like me." Meanwhile, 50 Patrol's like, "Huh?" Because it's 50 Patrol's channel. And then when people started unsubscribing and disliking, he thought that must be because of PoliceTube. Why would that have anything to do with PoliceTube, buddy? And why have you spent so much time thinking about PoliceTube? So now he goes to 911, he calls 911 and tells the police officers that PoliceTube is threatening his daughter. Literally, he said that. And he said, "PoliceTube says he's coming to my house to get me." He literally said that. And he's saying these things to the police to try to incite the police to take him seriously. But the police are like, "Let me try to understand. So you're a YouTuber and he's a YouTuber and you guys are talking about each other?" And Keith Conover's like, "Yes." And the cops are like, "Well, that doesn't sound like a crime." So he makes up a thing and says, like, "PoliceTube says he's going to get me. He's threatening me." And the reason he's doing that, the reason he's calling 911 and making false reports is because he got caught cyber stalking, harassing, posting threatening messages. And I've just shown you 2 things that he said here about hunting me down and beating me and filming it and then conspiring with his friend. And then also using these fighting words on this channel. I just showed you 5 seconds of this channel or something, 30 seconds, and this goes on for hours. So if anybody wants to know why I'm talking about Keith Conover, buddy, right now, that's the reason why. If anybody wants to call me to talk about it, my phone number is 1-800-480-8797, extension 5050. All the documentation is there. It's all read in easily readable format. And with these threats and stuff, that's criminal, allegedly. Okay, everybody's innocent until proven guilty. But there's also a bunch of civil stuff where he's purposely tried to harm PoliceTube and the PoliceTuber channel, and he's also filed false complaints against our channel, allegedly, and where his actions have caused significant emotional distress to our company employees, not just by talking about them, but by purposeful harassment of them. For example, just the other day, Keith Conover published my phone number, my private phone number, on his YouTube channel. That's literally named Keith Conover 1 YouTube channel. And his avatar is Saul Goodman from Better Call Saul, which is very fitting because Saul Goodman is literally a character that will say or do anything. He'll cheat and he'll lie in order to get people to believe what is in his best interest. And that's exactly what Keith Conover is doing, in my opinion, here. And I'm certain that this is not the first time he's done it. And I'll let everybody know, I've spoken to Keith Conover's wife. She wanted to speak to me. She said she wanted to get on the phone with me, and I allowed that. And I explained some of the stuff to her, and I can tell that Keith Conover very much keeps her in the dark and tells her what's in his best interest to make himself look like a victim. Mrs. Keith, have you seen the Keith Conover, the Buddy documentary? Or have you seen any proof other than Keith's conjecture and words coming out of his mouth? Anyway, I just wanted to give a quick rundown on this because I know I mentioned it, but there's so much important information to put together here. I just didn't want to slap it all together. It's going to take some time. Plus, there's some other things going on which are slowing things. But I wanted to give you guys a little breakdown about why Keith Conover is so involved in this. And in his own words, it all stems back to Jeremy DeWitt content creation. So anyway, that's Keith Conover. We're going to be talking about Derek Faircloth as well. Let's not forget him. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.